Yoga begins with listening. When we listen, we are giving space to what is. Welcome to this 20-minute yin-inspired session filmed here in the beautiful Wellington region of New Zealand, targeting most of the larger parts of our bodies, shoulders, back, hips, and legs. The poses here are somewhat simple, but with this simplicity, we have the space to listen, to observe, and to process. I'm practicing with some extra softness underneath me through the use of a blanket, and have not incorporated any other props into this session. That being said, a bolster could act as a nice complement to this class. With your mat rolled out and comfortable clothes on, I will meet you in a seated posture when you are ready. Getting started here with me in the center of your mat, I invite you into butterfly pose. Soles of the feet come together, knees are bent and opened wide. Begin to lengthen into the spine, close the eyes down, and notice how this shape is feeling. To increase intensity, consider bringing the feet closer to the groin. To decrease, move them further away. Coming both into this posture and into our practice, we focus more intently on our inhales and exhales. As they enter in through the nose, we feel an inflation, a rising of the chest, an opening of the lungs. And as we let the breath go, leaving also through the nose, we observe a softness, a release of tension, a release of thoughts, bringing us into this present moment. Using your next few rounds of breath, I invite you to explore and expand the depth and capacity available here to you. How fully can you inflate, and how slowly can your breath come and go? Taking 3 final breaths here in this posture, this is your chance to explore your edge. Can your knees fall open a little wider? Can you grow a bit taller through your backside? Can the shoulders soften down, or can your breath grow a bit further into your belly, into your lungs, expanding in all directions? As that third exhale leaves your body, begin to flutter the eyelids open and start to transition your way towards the side. We will come into our Reclined Figure 4, starting on the right leg. Knees are bent, soles of the feet resting, and then the right foot picks up and rests onto the left thigh. Hands are behind you for support, or you can lower onto your elbows to increase softness into the right hip. With a flexion into the right foot, draw the right knee away from your body and use the leverage of the left leg to draw your right heel and foot closer to you. An opportunity once again to close down the eyes, to scan yourself and observe how this pose is feeling. Try your best to keep an open heart, draw the shoulder blades together. And with every exhale breath, look for greater depth, greater release and stretch into the right hip. As we come to our final 3 breaths on this side, perhaps you begin to shift the chest more forward. The closer the legs are to the torso, the deeper this pose, I invite you to your edge. Experiencing all that is available to you here for your last breath, and then releasing out, giving yourself, your body a chance to rebound, to release, listening to what you need before we set up on the left side. Eventually crossing the left ankle and heel onto your right thigh. Focus first on drawing the left knee away from you, and then determine what kind of upper body support would best serve you here. Closing down the eyes, keeping the heart open, Look to feel a stretch and intentional sensation into the left hip. Continue to protect your left knee by flexing into the foot, and ensure you've returned back to your fullest and deepest breath. As we come into our final 3 breaths on this side, consider this an invitation to explore your edge. How far can you safely take this pose within you? Maybe you draw the torso closer to the legs for your final inhale. And as you exhale, coming out of this pose, releasing and rebounding in ways that serve you. From here, I invite you to straighten the legs, coming to an even seat, a tall, long spine. With an inhale, begin to reach the arms up, hinge at the hips, and allow yourself to fold forward. Landing here in our forward fold, allow the chest to melt towards the legs, and your hands to catch on somewhere to provide a little bit of leverage, encouraging the torso more fully towards the ground. With eyes dialed down, return to your deepest breath, expanding how fully you can open up, especially into the back side. Notice the space that becomes available as you exhale, and invite gravity in that room to draw you a little nearer to your legs. Allow yourself the opportunity to observe how this pose is feeling. Nearing closer to the end of our time here, maybe this is a chance to go a bit further. Flexing into the feet for our final 3 breaths will intensify the stretch into your calf muscles, and it may allow you to creep closer to your edge of this pose. Using an inhale breath, I invite you to return upright. Take as much time as you need to rebound, and then I will meet you on your stomach, where we'll begin to prepare for a back bend. Coming into Sphinx pose, untuck the toes and allow the feet to fall almost as wide as your mat. The elbows are below the shoulders, forearms are pressing down, fingers spread wide, and we have a generous scooping sensation into the back. Active in the glutes, gazing ahead, think about pressing the earth away. Feel your generous and intentional inhales and exhales lifting and lowering the body. What does it feel like to press the stomach into the earth? What does it feel like as you exhale and more space results? Continuing to draw awareness to how this is feeling, scan your body from toes to head. Notice if you are already there at the peak of this pose or if there's space to go further. Perhaps you slide the hands forward, coming into seal. Lifting the chest a bit higher with straight arms, we take our 3 final breaths. When you are ready, softening out of this pose, taking as many movements or adjustments as necessary before meeting me in child's pose. Allow the knees to spread wide, the arms to shift forward, drawing your glutes towards your heels. A beautiful complementing pose to that back bend we just found. Perhaps today in this posture you're feeling most loudly this pose in your low back. Maybe it's into your hips, the tops of your feet or shoulders. Wherever your body is speaking to you, envision that you can send your breath to those areas. Imagine that within those spaces, your breath moves around like a massage from within. Every inhale providing space and opportunity to release. Every exhale flushing out tension that has been picked up by that breath. As we come to 3 final breaths in this pose, maybe you intensify by tenting onto all 10 fingers, lifting the elbows. Feeling more of a stretch or activity in the upper body. Notice what this feels like as you take 1 final inhale, exhaling to make your way onto your backside. Once you land there, you draw both knees in towards the chest, interlace your fingers, and give yourself a gentle hug. We next begin to set up for a deep twist. Crossing your right leg over the left, allow your hips to relocate a bit more to the left side, and then drop both knees down towards the right. Your left foot will be on the mat, right leg likely hovering. Shoulders are square, and the right glute is taking most of our weight as the left side is peeling off of the mat. If this is too intense or not serving your body, consider uncrossing the right leg, simply allowing both knees to fall to the right. Take a moment to observe where you are noticing this within you, ideally into our glutes and hips, perhaps a bit also into the back. If appropriate for your practice today, consider how you may intensify this pose for our final 3 breaths on this side. You may consider drawing the right hand onto the right knee, and then perhaps turning your gaze towards the left. Enjoying these final few rhythms of inhales and exhales to coil you as far as possible, before inviting an inhale breath to twist you out of this pose back to center, where you begin to set up on the left side, taking as long as you need before eventually crossing the left leg over the right thigh, scooching your hips towards the right, and then dropping both knees to the left. Keeping an open chest and heart, feel the twist in the mid-body, close down the eyes. And in the first few moments here, ensure you observe and listen to what the body is saying, setting this pose up in a safe form for you. Allow your inhales and exhales to intentionally come and go. And just as we did on the other side, as we near our final 3 breaths, perhaps there is space for you to deepen. Drawing the left hand to the left knee, gaze to the right. Or maybe this is an opportunity to soften in places not involved. Can you relax in your jaw, the area around your brow? Ease into the shoulders as we take one final breath. And then inhale to release yourself from this pose. Once again, drawing the knees in towards the chest, squeezing on so tightly that your head and shoulders peel off the mat, coming into a small and energetic ball, with a moment of gratitude for yourself before exhaling to release into Shavasana. Perhaps today, one hand lands on the heart, the other on the stomach. Doing so to listen both with our ears and our physical sensation of what it feels like to be in stillness here in this moment. Feeling the hand rise as the breath comes and goes, and feeling the beautiful rhythm of your heart beating. Fully connecting here to this moment with eyes closed and body still. Enjoy your Shavasana. Very gently start to wiggle in the fingers, point in the toes. Maybe you reach the arms overhead to a nice long line. When you are ready, choose a side to roll over and onto. Rest your head and body in a moment of reflection. Notice how you feel in this moment. Observe how this pace of practice and internal awareness landed within you. When you are ready to do so, begin to push yourself up to a comfortable seat. We will meet with hands at heart center. Yoga begins with listening. When we listen, we are giving space to what is. We take 3 final breaths, with perhaps the exhales leaving through the mouth, generously sighing out anything that does not need to come forward with you, feeling that physical release of a loud and intentional exhale through the mouth. With love and light, we sit tall. Bowing forward, we say, Namaste. Thank you so much for tuning in for this 20-minute practice. I hope the result is a sense of ease within the body and perhaps a little bit of clarity and space within the mind. Looking forward to rolling out my mat again with you real soon.